that you say or do. I'm hung up on you, waiting for your call, baby, night and day. I'm fed up and tired of waiting on you. Every little thing that you say or do, I'm hung up on you. Ring, ring, ring goes the telephone. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. I can't really turn my head. I slept on weird thing. I don't know. I slept really weird, and my shoulder hurts and my neck hurts. But before we get started, everyone check out at Hey David Don and at King Mavs Forever over on Twitter, Standoff Chart and King Mavs over on the Veve app. Kobe Collection, Omi Player One over on the YouTube, RayThax.eth domain name. Kyle Willson, Wendy Stibalis, Puddin' Cheeks, Veve Las Vegas, Tabs Trades, Morris Davis, Legacy Bermuda, Sody Pop Media, Veve Darklink, Meta Lemon, Veve Vibes, all on the YouTube, and then you got Nomad with Guitar at Wet Wizard Veve and Gario at 1234CA3, all on the Twitter. So it's an interesting title today. There's something that I think I have mentioned before. You know, y'all have had glimpses of in the past. So something I want to read to you that I had written on Facebook, which I got to stop posting stuff on Facebook because people keep messaging me and it's like, I don't have time for this. So there it goes. It says, the addiction to food is real. I've struggled with my battle with it for a long time. Gone is my youth where I could eat whatever and still look good. Today I have won and was able to say no to cakes and tacos. But tomorrow is another day. With an injured shoulder and hurt neck, I fear I'll give in to my desires. My mind says to reward myself, but I fear that this is the self-destructive side of me that loves making things harder on myself. The part that enjoys watching me struggle. A remnant of my past where I wanted nothing more than an early grave. Each day is a battle, and I fear the day where I give up entirely and let myself become obese to the point of no return. Shout out to the hopeful side of me that always seems to get back up, even when the odds are against it. So I wrote that because I was literally in the grocery store and I was like, I want cake and cookies and donuts and those Keebler Elf fudge cookies. So my mouth's watering just thinking about it. And I did a good thing and I was like, you know what? Let me just get like 1.5 pounds of salmon, and I ate maybe like 10 ounces at this point. Now, during the day, I also had a protein shake, and I also had eggs. Nothing crazy, because I couldn't go to the gym because my neck is all hecked up. Well, this got me thinking, like, okay, well, this is not just about food. Like, I've mentioned this before about Veve, and what I did was, it wasn't even about current addiction. It would be about addiction in the future. And I guess I'll get to that in a minute, but current addiction is like, where you can't say no. Like, let's say, and I guess this is going to get NSFW, or, you know, if any kids are watching, or parents that have kids watching, I'll give y'all a couple seconds to get them out of here, because we're going to be going over some recreational and some hard candy. It's called nose candy. All right, they out of here. 3, 2, 1. So, if you watch Jordan Peterson, and you take a look at some of his clients that say that, you know, that just have a Coke addiction. And this is why I never got into Coke, because I know I have an addictive personality, and that would ruin my life. And he says, like, well, okay, well, what happens when, you know, right when you do it, you have a dopaminergic reaction that does everything that you did right before it. It makes those neurons fire really close together. So what are you doing before you get it? Well, you get the drugs, and you attempt to do the drugs. You get in a place where you're about to do it, and then you do the drugs. And then everything that you did right before it just automatically comes close together. So, and then he says, what do you have? How do you get rid of that? Well, you have to find something better. And he says a lot of times his clients cannot find anything better. And I think this is pretty similar. So, like, y'all saw me the other day, I had like 800 gems, 900 gems. And every day, every video, every live stream, I'd buy a couple of Lady Deadpools, which, as you see on the thumbnail, like 27. How many do I have of those now? I don't have any money for anything else, but I have the where'd you go on the night and day, get up. All right, so I go to them and I take a look. I started with like 6 or 10 or 12, whatever, and look now I have 27 of them. And I can't, so I was like, oh, because all I see is like, oh, this is easy, just a little bit. And it's not like if I was to actively give the company or whoever $7, every time I buy one, I'd be like, okay, oh, excuse me, This is I would probably stop myself after a while because $7 and it's a lot. But when you have like credit card and you're able to just, you don't see the money, you just say like, oh, here it is, here's $300, and you don't see that negatively go out of your account. But when you see it, you positively fill up your Veve account. Again, when you're using your credit card, you do not see your bank account balance go down, but you see your gem balance go up. And I feel like that definitely helps feed this addiction. And now another, like I said, this double-bladed sword. What Jordan Peterson had said is saying that, a lot of his clients, if they had money, they would die. Like, they would be face down in a ditch, their addiction would kill them. But because they don't have a lot of money, they don't. They only get a little bit at a time, and they can't really feed their addiction as much as they want to. So I think what Veve helps with is people that would have otherwise spent it on something else that could be really dangerous, like alcohol or drugs, and they go and say, okay, well, if you put it in, like, I've seen this meme before, like, if you don't want your kids doing drugs, get them into art because they wouldn't be able to afford drugs. So I go and I take a look, okay, well, I can't buy alcohol if I continuously put all my money into Veve or the OMI token. And the OMI token, I don't really have a sentimental value towards. It's just, it's a thing. It's a means to an end. Even though I think it's one of the best things that you could buy. Not financial advice, but what I see in the collectibles is similar to what I felt in Pokemon cards. I get it. It's art. It looks good. I enjoy looking at it. I enjoy interacting with it, and you get an emotional attachment to it. You don't want to see it go. I'm not selling that for money. I would sell part of my collection to grow my collection even further. How far do we get down this? I don't know. I mean, it would have made much more sense to sell everything January, February, March, April, even May, because we've been on a slow downtick ever since. So, which is good for people that are accumulating, and a lot of people like that again don't see the whales that are buying because they're just stuck in this little fishbowl, and they just see the value of their stuff going down. They don't see that whales are accumulating. I guarantee you, these are the same people in 8 months that are gonna be like, oh, well, it must have been nice for whales to have money. Like, and again, that might be something I might go over with the Mars thing at some point tomorrow too. So that'll be great. But I see Veve as doing, right now it helps. Veve helps me because I cannot spend my money on food or alcohol or other stuff that could be harmful. I spend it on Veve stuff. But I do think that Veve, in a couple of ways, they'd be like, I could picture people at some point not paying like their car loan or being late on bills because it's so addicting. Plus that promise of future return, like buying something, putting a couple $1,000s in, and you go into $100,000. That is one of the most addicting things that you can do, and people are buying right now because they think that it can happen again, and it very may well happen again. But we don't. It could take a very long time. Bear market, recession, crypto winter could take a very long time for us to get to there again. And right now I feel like some people might be spinning their wheels. And again, once it does go up there and they spend so much money, again, people that have never had more than like a couple of grand to their name that suddenly have tens of thousands of dollars, they're going to be going on and be like, oh God, now I could. Then the real problem opens up where they could afford real life stuff that is addicting, that is bad, that is like, can really send your life into a downward spiral. And I don't know what the right solution to that is. I think next time I'm on Lucy or something, I would have to I don't know, maybe I'd start like a therapy group, like for veterans, but for people that are addicted to Veve stuff, and like, hey, I've been down that road before. I know what it's like not having a lot of money, then suddenly having a lot of money. Done that a couple times, and maybe like me and a couple other people like that, just that know where some of those bumps in the roads are. Comment down below if you have any of those particular ideas on how to combat that, or if you could just be like, hey, I think Veve should do this, and if I think it's cool, I'll go and mention it to them, or I'll try to get it to them. So yeah, let me go. I've been babbling on for about 10 minutes. Before I go any further, before I get to the questions, what I would ask everyone to do, just if you love me, or even if you don't love me and just like the content, if everyone could just smash that like button, that would be super great. I'm gonna smash that, smash it, smash it. Okay, we're gonna move on to some comments right now. Let's get this bread. We got Justin says, what do you think of Trevor saying the big gaming companies will wait for the smaller companies to do the heavy lifting, then swoop in and add crypto to their game and dominate? Are we in clandestine? Are we in trouble? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you know, if if you're in a video game, and let's say Mario Party, where you have you have to cut the wire of the bomb, and let's say there's 5 wires to cut, and you're like the 4th person to go. It's like, okay, well, you don't want to go last, because by that point, the chances of cutting it are you're probably gonna, if you're the last person to go, you have a 50-50 chance. It's a coin flip of whether you're gonna explode or not. Or maybe that's not the best one. I would say, because you wouldn't want to go first. Well, you would want to go first, I guess. I guess it would be like a video game where there's if anyone's ever seen Xena, or was this I think it was this was Hercules, where there are red and blue steps, and you don't know which one's gonna go. You don't know which one's gonna support you and which one's gonna make you fall. So you don't want to go first. You want to let other people go first to see where the mistakes are. You want to let other people go first, say like, oh, they did this wrong, now I know not to do that. So yeah, 100% gaming companies would want to do that. Would want to wait and wait for other people that are smaller to make those mistakes. That I think that would make a lot of sense. Ernie Milau saying, we love you in Ohio, Randy, but you already know that. Oh, thank you guys so much. I love you guys too. I 100% can't wait next time to see everyone, to go and hang out, go and chill, go and have a good time. Maybe do a little daddy sodas. Oh, I love that stuff. Cheers, mate. Thank you for the support, always. Olivia's an Alley Boy 760 says, peace, love, and Veve-ness. Peace, man. Justin says, Trevor has to have Omi still, I would hope. I mean, you don't... So there's an engineer named Sandy Monroe that what he does, got a YouTube channel, and just went over different cars. Like, he would get cars, he would break them down, and he would comment on their engineering. Once he found Teslas, he'd be like, he was just so flabbergasted and shocked, and it was like shook, like, how do these engineers figure this out? Like, how are they doing this? And ever since he took apart a Tesla to break it down and figured out like how they're doing what they're doing, he's like, okay, I gotta get in Tesla. I gotta invest in this because this company is revolutionary. So in that same breath, I don't think you can go and work at Veve or any part of a Comey, work with this team, know what they're doing. I imagine that dude has NDAs out the yin yang. I don't think that you get through that working in that environment and not buy Omi and not buy any of those things that I'm almost, I don't know him. I can't, I've met him a couple times. He was at VCon, and he's always been nice. He's always answered questions and stuff to people in the best of his ability. But I think Trevor is smart enough where he sees what they're doing and be like, yeah, this makes sense. I should buy these. Like, again, with what we know, you have people like us that are buying in, I don't know how, tens, hundreds of millions of Omi. Some people that we know of, that have billions of Omi, like billions, like plural, and people that already have so much. Like I let's just say with Brock. Let's just use him as an example. CEO of the Fishes, that has said on Taps Trades podcast, where Taps had asked him around how much Omi, ballpark do you have, and Brock says, well, some people have the amount of Omi that starts with the letter M, as in millions, and some people start with another letter. Now, did he say what it was? Could he have mentioned H, as in hundreds of millions? Sure, I guess he could have. Most likely, though, he probably meant B, as in Bravo, for billions. And he said that like over a year ago, and since then has put in, I think, $350,000 into the coin after that interview. So I mean, again, you don't have someone as smart as Brock going in and already having, assuming minimum a billion tokens, and then him buying hundreds of thousands of dollars more into that, unless he knows what's coming. Unless he knows, like, yeah, I'm super confident in this. Again, maybe now again, I interviewed Brock a couple times, so maybe if you really get down to like a psychoanalytical level and you say like, okay, well, Brock, when he was younger, maybe didn't have a ton of money, and because of that, because he came into some money in, and not from what do you call it, like a windfall, or it wasn't luck, it was super hard work. So maybe you could make the argument that, well, didn't have a lot of money when he was younger, and he might expect to not have money again in the future, and maybe that's why he's like a cowboy. No way. There's no way. Maybe if he didn't have a family, and maybe if he was just a cowboy just on his own, maybe if he was more like me a few years ago, where he was like addicted to things like alcoholic and whatever, and it's like, okay, yeah, cowboy, YOLO it. But Brock is not like that at all. I mean, again, I don't know him on like a personal, although we're not, I'm not like Ace Ventura talking to Courtney Cox, like, does he know you? Does he call you at home? Like the in the Ace Ventura movie. I don't we're not like friends that hang out all the time. He lives in a completely different state, different part of the country. But I think I know him well enough to say that he doesn't do anything all willy-nilly. He doesn't do anything half-assed, but he also doesn't do anything all willy-nilly. And I think there are multiple reasons for him to do that. And I know another whale that already had as much, probably a good deal more than Brock, that had also put in a nice six-figure amount recently. And it's not like they had an extra $1 million in the bank. I'm pretty sure what the person put in, like an additional six figures, was, they might have had a little bit, to live on and to do whatever. Now, granted, this person has a good job and this person has a, very bright future, but pretty much almost wiping out their bank account. I gotta fix this. This is gonna be annoying. I'm sorry. I gotta. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, my body. So when I see someone like Trevor, and you ask that question, there's no way that he doesn't, unless again, I don't know him really well, but unless he thinks that, okay, well, Veve is going to be down here for a while, I'm going to be down here for a while, and it'll be a while before they get up there, I have an opportunity here, takes his money out, puts it in somewhere else, and then we'll come back to it at some point. Yeah, that's possible as well. Is that like, I don't know, man. I don't, Trevor's, I watched that thing with Cavell, and again, what he said made a lot of sense. He seemed quite sure of himself, and he seemed very confident, and the numbers that he was saying made sense. So when somebody that's as smart as him, that has, and again, this is his wheelhouse. This is his playground in gaming, and working at I think worked on God of War. He's working at all these other places. Seeing whether it's Veve that's building what they're building, or another company that's building what Veve wants. Just going back to that Reese and Akil Patterson interview, I would say that another company is building the Veveverse, but again, I imagine Trevor would know who that is or what company that is. I would say Trevor probably still has a good amount of roaming. Just my opinion. Bill Gardner saying, the first part of addiction is admitting you have a problem. Hello, my name is Bill, and I'm a Veve addict. Now let's get these NFTs, boys. Hello, Bill. Let's get this bread. Yeah, totally. 100%. Justin says, let this stone be overturned evermore for many more moons and nights of NFTs galore. Pearly Dewdrops drops by the Cocteau Twins. Would be Craw Patreon shout out yeet. That was good. That was good. I enjoyed that. you had like a Edgar Allan Poe thing going, and then it just went right out to Patreon shout out Yeet. Oh, Cray Cray. I think that's what you meant. I think there's supposed to be a Y at the end of Cray Cray. Darth Chaos says, I saw that video with Cavell and Trevor. I don't know, squared back out of NFTs, but they also sold their Montreal branches. Gamers aren't ready for change just yet. Too many people. I mean, gamers are some of the most adaptive and versatile like people that I know. And if you give, like, if that's the way the world changes, they're just gonna like adapt to it. Like, remember when the Wii first came out with Super Smash Brothers for the Wii, and you didn't have an N64 controller, you didn't have a GameCube controller at the time. All you had was the two controllers, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to adapt to this. And is it harder? Sure, a lot harder to play Fox, do whatever, but you adapt. You adapt to controls. You adapt to what it is. If like game companies like Tencent or like Square Enix, Disney, like whoever comes out and says like, yeah, your games now involve NFTs. I mean, the gameplay doesn't really change for them. It's just an additional step of maybe like connecting a wallet, or yeah, again, gamers being pretty involved with tech. They don't have to do much. It would just be really good games with NFTs attached. Nothing really changes for gamers. So I don't think gamers really have to go through this whole thing saying like, oh, do I go with NFTs or not? Like, it's not going to be a big deal. They're just going to be like, okay, that's what it's going to be. Rob Stone says, if Veve was a drug, I would be strung out. I'm already strung out. Piece of fish caught in my teeth. Dog Chaos says that don't understand it. Okay, so he says too many people that don't understand NFTs. But again, they don't really need to. Again, if you didn't know what an NFT was, and Veve came out and just said, hey, premium digital collectibles that you can buy, and you can which one is yours based on the mint number, you can sell it on this market. People would not have any idea what an NFT is, and they could still go here and do whatever. You don't need to know what an NFT is to make money on Veve. You don't need to know what an NFT is to be successful. All you need to know is that you can put in money with a credit card, and you can go and determine which ones are valuable by the market, just by the free market, and what people are doing what they're doing. Now, what people might get messed up with is that they look at some of these prices and they think that's how it is, that's how it's going to be, not recognizing that there's going to be millions of people coming in the next couple of years. It's going to be nuts. But yeah, you don't need that to make money. All you need to know is what it's selling for, what you could buy it for, how many people there are, how big the fandom is, how big the fandom is inside, which again, that's all. And you can track the wallets. And see how big this is. Like I think there's like 10 people with like how many thousands of collectibles and above. Well, I think there's 10 wallets with 10,000 collectibles and above, not including the Veve Burn wallet and the other Veve wallet. So yeah. Moving on. Sky Soldier says, do you think MTL will happen this month or next month? Oh, dude, I am not expecting MTL until late Q3, if not Q4. Like, I would not expect that for a while. Justin says, you and Dashi are glowing. Oh, why, thank you. I'm trying my very best. Omi Panda says, hello. How's it going, Omi Panda? We got Super VBK says, do you like casinos? I love casinos. So, thankfully, my addictions are... I mean, I didn't have like an issue with like scratch-offs or anything. I just liked it. Maybe I liked it a little too much. But yeah, I learned how to count cards when I was younger, and if I really needed to, I could feed my addiction with that, and I could just, most times with that you do make money. Now, again, you can make the right call mathematically every time, and you just get screwed. You just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess that happened then. Like, you'd be sitting with like a, like an 85% chance that you're making the right call, even higher than that 90, and then you just, it doesn't work out. It's like, well, mathematically that shouldn't have happened. Probability was in my favor, but that's just how you get screwed. And that's why people lose. People lose that way, or people get emotional. Like, people are so dumb. They're like, oh, I lost this. Now I'm just going to bet $300, even though your odds are worse now than they were. Like, it doesn't make any sense. People have to a lot of reason why card counters don't, so a lot of them don't do is because they get really emotional. And it's just, dangerous game. Ernie Moss, thank you for the super chat. And we love you in Ohio, Randy, but you already know that. I'm trying my very best. Also, comment down below if there's any questions you have for Amar Singh, the one who signed the $50 million 6-year deal with Veve, who's trying to get India to legalize same-sex marriages and trying to get make a lot of positive noise for LGBTQ women and minority groups. So really happy that I'm getting him on tomorrow. He is going to drop some bombs tomorrow. He's going to talk about some new NFTs, maybe 1 or 2 of which come to Veve. I'll just, but yeah, definitely watch that tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Super VVK says, how do you know when to sell? That's different for each person. Me, I have an issue and a hard time selling because I just tend to buy and hodl. But yeah, some people, they'll just they won't. You won't. It's different. Like if it only goes to like 5 cents, and suddenly I have like $6 million. Do I sell everything right then and lock in those profits? I mean, then I'd probably have to pay like $1 million in tax. And then you lose on future growth. Like I fully believe this is going to multiple dollars by the end of the decade. Why would I sell that? Now I'll take profits along the way. Like when this goes to a couple cents, I'm like, okay, so let's say it goes to 2 cents. Sell a couple thousand Omi, or I'm sorry, a couple million Omi, get like $60,000. Okay, cool. I could use that. I would very much like to go to all of these events without having to worry about like plane and hotel and all that. So, oh my god, this piece of fish that is in my teeth is just never going to come out. But yeah, I mean, I'll do that. I'll sell on the way up a little bit. Because do you think MTL in July? Probably not. I mean, so mother flapper. I think people will get it. I think people will get it this month, and people will get it next month. But it's not going to be MTL for everybody right away. It's going to be these people are getting it, then these people, and these people, and so on and so forth. So that's what I see, and yeah, pretty much. I don't think full MTL would roll out until probably later this year. Now, maybe you can get around that by saying we have a. You can get around that by saying we can do KYC and you can do staking on the app, and then you can do transfers that way, and then Omi to NFT, and vice versa. Maybe you don't need MTL, and maybe you can get that quicker. Maybe you can get that by Q3. Vicente Luna, this idea: get addicted to leveling up. Bread, not financial advice. One strategy would be to take gains from Veve Omi and purchase safe dividend-paying ETFs in stock market. That is definitely the safer play. So these will grow net worth over time. Agreed. Gregory Bradshaw saying, "What's up, Randy? What's up, Greg?" It's so Gregory Bradshaw. I met this guy back in his mid 2000s, I think, or maybe late 2000s, like 2009, 2010. We met at the gym at Synergy, and we would just be like doing. So we'd be in. I'd be in like a room like jumping rope, and he'd be like doing like some shadowbox or whatever, and like randomly like he'd make me laugh in the middle of the round. He'd go like Kakarot, like he'd quote some Dragon Ball Z stuff. I was like, stop making me laugh. He's mad strong, and I remember one day I was like really sick, or I was like hurt or something. I was like, hey, can somebody go get me muscle milk? And Greg like drives to my house, like, here, man. I was like, oh, dude, thanks, bro. I think he's in Florida now. I'll be in Florida at some point, I think later this year. And me and Greg have been talking about finance for a while. I think he's had a bunch of jobs. Worked at Best Buy, worked at other places. Really good friend. The last time he was in town, I couldn't see him because he had like a wedding and I had something, and he was with family. We couldn't make it work out. Hopefully when he comes back again, we'll be able to see each other. Greg, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing fantastic. I know so Greg, and this is for Greg, like just for the messages that I have, like these, like, and that's just like normal messages, not including message like requests. I will get back to you, and at a point like tonight after this. I'm sorry for the wait, brother. You say, oh, it's 2009. It says my brother's wedding. I'll be up in September. All right, cool beans. I'll take that. Can't wait to quote talk Dragon Ball Z and go out for some food. I think last time we saw each other was at the place. Well, not Ground. Miller's Ale House. This is now all good. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, Miller's Ale House. I think it was the last time. It was a going away party, right? Pretty sure. Anyway, moving on. Big A says, let's get this bread. Checks vault value. Let's get these croutons. Justin says, I heard Teslas have bad build quality. I don't know. There are a couple that are a little bit off, but they're not bad at all. Like most of them are like top tier, like S tier quality. But I mean, the thing that sucks about it is that, you know, when they break, it takes like a specialist to fix them. So that is hard. Kelly Boy Joe be laughing. Ha 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 ha. Crazy Dan 420 says, smash that like button, people. Don't disrespect Mr. Chavez. Yeah, smash it. Cynthia Luna says, well, paying a quarterly or monthly dividend, if done correctly, it's basically a real life infinite money glitch with passive income. Reinvest these dividends into OMI or Veve or Veveverse. Mm-hmm. So me and a couple of friends were talking about digital land, and it was like, you know, how much y'all willing to spend on digital land? And I was like, depending on where OMI is, I'll spend 20 million OMI on digital land, because I know where that's gonna go. Like I know that's gonna kill it. So something that Trevor was saying about Alluvium, where Trevor just took out the legs of Alluvium, like he took those legs right out from under him. And I was like, oh, I really hope a lot of people don't see this, because, you know, people are going to start gunning for Trevor. Basically, what he had said is that the overall market right now for this type of auto battle, whether, you know, it's about Axie, Alluvium, or something like that, is about $250 million. Like that's what the whole market's worth. And he says that Alluvium had raised about 30% of what the whole market's worth already, without a game, without, you know, like working product right now. And he's like, how much money can you make if you just raise that without a game to build like a AAA game? Like, and one of the issues I had with that is that the way, and again, he probably didn't mean it like this, but the way it sounded is like that blockchain gaming and play to earn games would stay at $250 million, like, and that's what it would stay at. I think, you know, that becomes a $100 billion industry in the future. Probably, I mean, if we tie that to the metaverse, that's a multi-trillion dollar, you know, opportunity. Now, how long does that take? That could take, you know, 8 years. But just the way that Trevor said that made it sound like the 250 million is like it was capped at, and it's never going to be like higher than that. Even though I knew what he meant. He's like, that's what it is right now. And I think that in the future, when you have this really take off, yeah, 100 billion, multiple 100 billion, probably multi-trillion dollar business, if they tie that to the metaverse, which I'm pretty sure they will. We got Justin saying all the way at the bottom of the car is crazy though. I mean, that's crazy good, because you have, you know, you're not going to flip over. Like it would take an insane amount of inertia to try to get a Tesla to tip over. I don't think I've actually ever seen one tip over. And why? Just because all the weight is at the bottom, and it can go, someone can, and it'll come right back, you know? So yeah. Crazy Dan says, let's get these croutons, Big A. Bill Gardner saying, I'm almost up to 250 Tales of Suspense number 77. Let's fill these bags one last time. So it's not just Lady Deadpool's. I have Anakin, or I have the Skywalker lightsaber, and I have the Vengeance number 1 commons that I have a lot of, and obviously the Lokis, which, you know, I'm never gonna sell. Just as croutons at ranch though. this is the addiction part of me that I love food. So, like I want nothing more than an Entenmann's deviled frosted marshmallow cake with like a cheesy gordita crunch and like fries from McDonald's, and I just want, oh my god, the burgers that they had at the Decon kickoff party with Veve. I want nothing more than like a Long Island iced tea and a milkshake and a Not Your Father's root beer and just toasted buttered bagels, just slathered with butter. Like, and that's a consistent want. I could be I could be full, and I just want that mouth pleasure. Like that addiction, like that is my kryptonite. I don't have anything else. Like, yeah, like I'll be like Steve Irwin, where money's great. I love money, and you know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna buy wilderness areas with it, and you know, like that's great. Like I love money, and you know, there's no other addiction that I have. It's not women, it's not money, it's not power. It is strictly just food, and the oh my, I don't know why. But yeah, it's hard to like free meal. Get me to do anything. All right, free meal. Let's go. Bug Nasty, what's going on? Peace, Dead Omi, Dead Skull Omi, Skull Omi, Skull Island, NFTs. What's up, Senor? What is it, Senior? Hello, howdy. Zuko here. No, I'm just joking. I'm not Zuko. I am Randy Chavez. Well, it says when next Taco Bell and cake mukbang. When I have a cheat day, I'll down that whole cake. When I have a cheat day, I'll take that whole devil icing cake. I'll down that, or I'll. So what's really helped me is going on TikTok and going to these places like McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell and finding employees there saying like, we don't clean this. Oh, hey, y'all want to know what's in a McNugget? And they look at it under a microscope and it's like filled with like, nope, I don't want to know any of that. So I look at it and it helps me not get them. I haven't had fast food in a while. That's a lie. I think I had some this weekend at Designer Con. But yeah, that type of thing really helps. Yep, Justin, you got the cray right now. Planet Vampire says, I'm not an addict. I just use Amazon credit to buy a Google Play card in order to get more gems to snag a secret rare Thor because I couldn't wait till tomorrow when I get paid. Not an addict though. We're kind of yeah. Inferno says howdy. Sean Gill says just got to take profits from Omi and the NFTs, unlike myself. LOL. Yeah. I at some point I will. And Greg, thank you so much for super chat saying, Randy, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. Not a Bot says Omi token is the biggest no-brainer I've seen in crypto for years. Same. Di Gusto says, when is the next AMA? There was no big AMA in May except your podcast with David Yu. Probably next week. I would say next week we'll get one. I don't know if they're still traveling or what they're doing, but yeah. So Jeremy Padour just posted a very interesting tweet called Amazon annual income. Starting in 1995 was $51,000. In 96, that skyrocketed to $16 million. 97 skyrocketed again to $148 million. 98, $610 million. 99, $1.6 billion. 2000, $2.8 billion, growing by the billions, absolutely nuts. 2001, 3.1. 2002, 3.9. 2003 is 5.3. 2004 is 6.9. 2005 is 8.5. 2006 had 11 billion, so across that 11 figure mark. 2007 it was 15 billion. 2008 it was 19. 2009 it was 25 billion. 2010 34 billion. Oh my god. 2011 was 48. And 2012 was 61. 2013 was 74. 2014 was 89. 2015 had $107 billion in annual revenue. 2016 was 136. 2018 was 233. 2019 280. 2020 386. And last year in 2021 had almost $500 billion annual income at $470 billion. That is nuts. That is absolutely bananas. So, what did Omi start out, or Veve start out its first year? Well, 2020, probably next to nothing, probably at a loss. But 2021, we were way ahead of where Amazon was that first year. And this year, we'll be way ahead of where they were the second, third, and fourth year. So, yeah. We're ahead. We're very big ahead. Gary Bradshaw, thank you for the super chat. Energy says, peace. Not a bot says, but your Bitcoin or Ethereum and get a 2x OMI will give you 100x, just saying. Yeah, I mean, those things, people just don't know about OMI yet, but they will. Diagustos, another question, Randy, does OMI follow Ethereum or Bitcoin? I mean, in super bear markets, no, I accidentally clicked on a message. I'm sorry, whoever that was. Like, it's not attached to Bitcoin. Like, if Bitcoin can go down, OMI can go up, Bitcoin can go down, vice versa. But if there's a really big move, like Bitcoin's on the move, OMI will go up. Bitcoin's on the move going down, OMI will go down. So it really does depend on. But a lot of times, over the past couple of weeks, OMI has more times than not outperformed the markets and outperformed Bitcoin. Not today, because Bitcoin's up about 4.34%. OMI's down 2.3%. So that's a really big difference. But in general, it does outperform the markets and Bitcoin. And I think part of the reason why that is because you have like 7 billion OMI in. You have 7 billion OMI that's in Ascendex, that's staked, that's locked up. So that really does help. And I think that as that goes on, you'll get more and more volume. And like I said, we'll get to a very, very large high amount, probably next bull run, where we'll have dozens of cents, in my opinion. Moving on. Greg says, I work for a multi-billion-dollar company called Tamco Lighting. Good. I can't wait to hear about it. I don't know anything about it. Super VBK says, thank you for being genuinely yourself. Yeah, trying my very best. And I think people need to see, the real people behind. I mean, Randy Chavez, I guess, me as like the real Randy Chavez here, like, yeah, I don't know. I thought about trying to put on like a character, like trying to put on something like really, but at the end of the day, like, how long can you keep that up for? Like, how long can you go and just say like, and be one person, someone that you're not? I don't know. Now, granted, I do wear many different hats, no pun intended. But yeah, for the most part, see this side of me, just gives y'all a complete picture of me. The Booth label says Veve versus land price predictions. What do you think? I don't know. I think it'll really depend on what else is there. Are we going to have a DC land? Are we going to have a Marvel land? Disneyland? If we have some of those, then the land around Disneyland will probably be worth a lot more than the land around Krypton land. Like, dare I say, that's what's going to be. Like if they have like Mustafar on there, like, oh my God, if they have like that battle with Obi-Wan and Anakin, if they have that land on there, the land next to that is like, if they have Nintendo, the land around Princess Toadstool's castle, Jesus, tap dance, oh my God. Yeah, mother flapper, my neck is just destroyed. I don't even know what I did. Now, granted, I did some shoulders yesterday and some triceps and, the kettlebell. Oh, yeah, it was definitely the kettlebell exercises. That hurt. But sleeping, I think, also really hurt it. Oh, no, it's a little better. Oh, no, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be really curious. Like, if we had Nintendo, and honestly, I want it just for this, what land around it will be more valuable? Princess Toadstool's castle or a Disney castle? I think that's Cinderella's castle. That's the big one that everybody likes to propose in front of and whatever. I'd be curious to see what land goes for more because of that. Now, in Pokemon, I don't know if there's any castles that I'm thinking of. I mean, you have gyms. Like, if they have, like, the makeshift, like, Pallet Town, I mean, there's nothing there. There's not going to be that much. But Viridian City, where you have that, on the road to Viridian City, meet my friends along. Like, if we have that, where you have Giovanni's gym, the 8th gym, and then that's right where you go before on your road to the Pokemon League, That could be really good. I think Misty's Gym would be really cool because that had a really cool episode that had a lot of history with it. There's a lot of history that happens in Cerulean City. But Mount Moon, you have the first alien Pokemon that we ever meet. You have Clefairy. If there's a Mount Moon out there, and we can get, and we could see Clefairy at night, we could see like the moon, we could see Clefairy and Clefable coming down in their spaceship. Oh my hecking goodness! If we could see like shooting, oh my god, not including future aliens that we see, like Deoxys, like we see Genesis, like there's just like Jirachi, like there's so many other things. Mew and Mewtwo. Like this, the land that's around there, I don't know what it starts out as, but that will be worth hundreds of, like tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that. Like in Harry Potter world, and that's another thing, that Harry Potter, like the Hogwarts castle, if we have that, oh my heckin' goodness. Like one of the best things that I love still about Harry Potter was last time I was there with my friend Jill, we had gone to like that last fireworks show. If they have a fireworks show every night, which Disney does, Harry Potter World does, and you can get in the background, like you can get, let's say here's the Harry Potter castle, like here's the rest of Harry Potter World, here's the castle, and your land is right outside that, and in your backyard you see that fireworks show every night. Oh my goodness, that is, yeah. That's going to be worth so much money. It's oodles amounts of money. And again, there's a TikTok of this guy that is so he not that it was destitutely, but the guy technically had a bed. It was a mattress with no sheets on it, similar to mine. But he has his VR, he has his like Quest goggles on. And he's like, y'all, people are making fun of my in real life bed, but I guarantee you I have a better bed than them in VR. And in his thing, he's on this bed that looks amazing, and he's got a TV up there, and he's watching TV in his house in the Metaverse. Guarantee you something like that happens in the VVverse as well. Because if you can't have it, you know, housing market's insane. You know, how do you go and say if you're working paycheck to paycheck and inflation's the way it is, and suddenly food is costing double what it used to, gas is out the yin yang, can't afford to drive, like you're not gonna be able to get a house in the real world if you're working like that. But you can get a house in the Metaverse, and you know you can pretend. And I think that's a really powerful thing. That okay, well I can't get in the real world, but I can pretend to have it in the Metaverse, and people will probably be okay with that. I can picture that being like some people at night be like, my you know, I might live in like a crack house or a halfway house, whatever, but in the Metaverse where I'm somewhere else, I'm some completely new person where I'm successful in there. It's like that episode of That 70s Show. I forget, it was Cheech or Chong. I forget which one of them was in there. I think it was Chong. And they're playing the game of life, like the board game. And suddenly, like, he does well, he goes to school, he's a doctor, you know, in that game of life, in that board game. And then it's like, oh, we need to stop playing, we need to, you know, get back to what we're doing. And he's like, oh, I like this life better. You know, like, if you have something that gives you that dopamine, you know, those feel-good things in your brain, and you can get that anytime you go there, people are going to want to spend more time in the Metaverse. Because, again, like, why would you live this life that might not be as good as opposed to that one where maybe you're somebody in that life? Like why do I spend a lot of my time on YouTube? You know, I'm somebody here, and like the real world is like, in the real world, I'm just a dude. Like I remember this when the guy Greg Schultz, who was nice enough to come on the podcast, and I mentioned to him and our other friend that we had dinner one night. I was like, listen, you guys are like these big, super important people, and like I'm just a YouTuber. Like I feel so out of place, and you know, like in the real world, I'm just like, I'm a YouTube. You know, like people think, oh, you do stupid stuff for money, and every now and then I do, but you know, that's what a lot of people think YouTube is. They don't really think of it as like an educational tool or whatever. The fact that like somebody has my name tattooed on them, you know, like just random stuff. I completely forget the original question. I went off on a tangent. I apologize about that. Let's see what it was. Oh yeah, land price predictions. I don't know what they go for at first. Whatever Veve wants. I hope they're expensive because and I hope that they only take Omi for it, because that's just going to burn so much Omi, and I would love that so much. Absolutely love it. Dustin says Kyle Willson watching Cavell video like, oh yeah, Kyle Wilson's going to be. I wonder if he'll make a reaction video to that, because that's I mean, I don't know how many people like Illuvium. Let's take a look at their Twitter here. Illuvium. Okay, Illuvium. Oh my goodness. And if we go to, wow, it's got 333,000 people that follow it. So it's got more than Veve. And you fight for ETH, hunt, capture, fight, earn, game studio. So this is really blown up. This is really blown up. How many people here have actually who was it? Arya Realty Productions. Arya Realty TV. Arya Realty on Investing, whatever he goes by now. He bought land in Illuvium as well. So people just getting it. People get into the hype, get into the FOMO, but I didn't think they had this many people that followed their Twitter. And that's just their Twitter. That's not like their Discord. Actually, let's take a look at their Discord. There are 211,000 people on their Discord as well. So that's interesting also. They'll see. We shall see. Oh God, Lindsay Sterling saying, "Are you Team NSYNC or Team Backstreet Boys?" Team NSYNC, bro. NSYNC for the win. Sorry, gotta let them know who's boss. Moving on here. Tylo says, "Do you think 23 will be worse? Do you think all-time highs will wait for next halving?" We could hit it next year, but again, I think 2022 is probably the worst year that Vive's going to have. And what I mean by that is, obviously it's the best year that they've had as far as making money, but I mean worse for Akomi, because until they get these things done, FUD will continuously be at what it's going to be at. It's going to be when MTL, when Omi the NFT, when MCP, when all this stuff. And again, even when they complete all this stuff, let's say they complete it next year, people's brains and attention spans are like, okay, but when this, when Pokemon, when Harry Potter, like they're never satisfied. And that, my neck, that is good in some cases where like scientists could literally cure this like random disease. Like they'll cure a disease. That disease is no longer viable, whatever, and people will be like, okay, that's your job. What's next? One cure for that. And that really does help the human race as far as like, keeping people on their toes and keeping, now obviously victory should be celebrated, but it's like, when Veve's like, hey, when Immutable X, when all, and as soon as that ended, I feel like there was next to no celebration. It was like, we did it. It was just like, okay, when this, when that. It's like, God, give them, like, I feel like Boromir, like, give them a moment for pity's sake. Like, my God, like, comment down below if you get that reference. Oh, my neck hurts so bad. Yeah, but I think this is going to be the worst year for the token. I cannot, and now, granted, if they decide to hold off everything until the next bull market, we are down here for 2 years. We'll burn a fudge ton of Omi, but yeah, we'll be down here for 2 years. And in which case next year might be the worst year. I don't know. I do think this year would be the worst year for the Omi token. If I had a crystal ball and said, and they said, yeah, Omi's not going to move until 2024, I'd go back to work right now and I would quadruple my Omi holdings. Yeah, so that's what I would do. I'd go back to work and quadruple my Omi holdings. My body. So yeah, moving on here. Joe Hanuman says Teslas are pretty safe. They're just not reliable. They're like some of the most reliable cars. I feel like I feel like they have like the best ratings like ever. Says Trump will be charged after the hearings are over. No, he won't. Joe says Randy's a walking cluster of addictions. Fair point. Crystal Stroud says, "Hey Randy, meow. I have never had an Entenmann's. I think it's an East Coast thing. What you've never had an Entenmann's? Okay, all right, hang on. Let me just Google for you. No, why do people have to be messaging me on Instagram? So like, I assume I've shown you guys before that every time I go to like hit something like that, that'll just come up when I'm going to search for something, and I can just never search. I can never hit that plus button. I can never hit the search thing. Okay, maybe I can right now. Okay, Entenmann's. Devil food cake. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, take a look. Hold on. Oh, look at that. Oh, would you look at like this? And again, there is multiple amounts of Entenmann stuff. Like there is Entenmann's chocolate cake, and there is I just put Entenmann's donuts. Oh my god, donuts are the best. The amount of amazing things that they have are just, oh god, it's so good. Like if I ever get like a terminal diagnosis, like you're gonna die, my goal will be like, you have 3 months that you're gonna live. Bet. All right, I'm gonna eat so much that I die in like 2.5 months. Like I will just destroy. Like again, if I'm already gonna die anyway at that point, I might as well just go for broke. I'll become the fattest. I'll be like, it's gonna be great. Not that I'm hoping for that, but when that day comes, when that day comes, like again, if you're in the military and if you were near those burn pits, or if you're in the military and you were just again, not even that, East Village Green Animal Hospital, where I used to work at, they did I was very thankful because I learned a lot. They gave zero fudges about the laws. And they were just like, yeah, you're 14, you can take X-rays, you can do this. And now granted, I had a gown, yeah, I had a lead vest, covered the manly parts, covered the family jewels, but for years I didn't have a throat guard. Like there was no throat guard, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get neck cancer. I took how many hundreds of X-rays, and yeah, like that's that in conjunction with me talking like 24/7. Yeah, so I'm just expecting that at some point. And this is also like Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking one day about. He's asking Larry King, like, if you could live forever, would you? Larry King's like automatically yes. It's like Lorelai asked him to marry him, and Luke's like yes. Like there was no hesitation in Larry King's voice. Comment down below if you get the Gilmore Girls reference. So, Neil deGrasse Tyson says like, and he says that I like the fact, and this is a roundabout thing. It's not word for word. It's like I like the fact that I'm going to die one day because that motivates me to do things now. That motivates me to get this done now. It helps me, and again, the actual TikTok is great. But he says that because life is finite and it will end, that gives you the motivation to do things in the here and now. And I was like, oh my god, preach it, girl. I got a super chat coming from Raytex saying, do you know of any Veve representation at Gen Con this year? I plan to be there for games. All right, let's take a look here. Gen Con. Raytex, where is? All right, so Gen Con will be on Thursday, August 4th, and end on Sunday, August 7th. Okay, where is this? Let's take a look. See. No. Wait, where's the location? Where do I buy tickets? Wait, seriously, where do I buy tickets? Gen Con. No. All right. How much is it to go to Gen Con? Oh, that's easy. I would much rather go to Gen Con than with the NFT NYC. NFT NYC is like $800 for tickets. Oh my god. Oh god, I can't believe I'm gonna try to go to that. I need monies. Largest tabletop gaming convention in North America with both attendance and number of events. Oh god, if they have Pokemon. Dude, old school Pokemon games I would destroy. I would need to build another deck though. And I guarantee you they don't even have the old school Pokemon stuff, but even if they do, where is it? Oh, so Indiana Convention Center. Okay. Indiana Convention Center, and August 4th to the 7th. So let me put that in the calendar. Wraithax, if there is, hold on one second. Oh, it's after my friend Harnish's birthday. Gen Con. I will do my very best to. They officially they're gonna have nobody there, but I'll see if I can go, because if tickets are only that much, if they're only 60, 80, Sunday, like however, 3 days for 225, that's again not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Again, the NFT NYC is so expensive. We shall see. We'll see what the airfare is like. I'll let you know if I can go. But I don't know if I could set up a booth there, but I'll just totally I'll just set up like a lawn chair and like a little table. There you go, Indianapolis Convention Center. Thank you for the super chat. I got it. I'll set up a table and I'll just be like, hey, Veve representative, ask me anything. And yeah, although it's not, I don't know if that'd really be their bag. Again, that's if people want to go and learn about it, whatever. But yeah, I would totally love to go. And, if they had some old school Pokemon, because I imagine they would have newer school, like modern Pokemon battles and stuff. Like what's that new set? Radiance art, something Radiance. All right, I gotta Google this because that's gonna annoy me. New Pokemon set 2022. It's called something Radiance or Radiant. Trainers. It is Astral Radiance. Okay, so if they have like the newer battling stuff, I'm not going to do any good. But if they have the older battling stuff, I would absolutely do really, really well with that. So we have a Patreon member shout out, and I'm going to go and do the thing. Okay, let's see what we got here. Where is the lyrics? Okay, going to. Patreon member shout out. On the road to Viridian City, we built a team. We've been training all day long. We're on the road to Viridian City. Here's the plan. We're gonna head down to the forest. Time to collect some Pokemon. We keep on trying, and then we try some more to stay together and find a place worth fighting for. I'm on the road. All right. Everyone, please check out at Hey David Don and at King Mouse Forever over on the Twitter. Standoff Chart and King Mouse over on the Veve app. Kobe Collection, Only Player One over on the YouTube. Wraithax.eth domain name. Kyle Willson, Wendy Stibalis, Puddin' Cheeks, Veve Las Vegas, Taps Trades, Mars Davis, Legacy of Bermuda, Sody Pop Media, Veve Darklink, Meta Lemon, and Veve Vibes, all on the YouTube. At Nomad with Guitar, at Wet Wizard Veve, and Gary O at 1234CA3, all on the Twitter. Totally go follow them. I follow them all. I've had Diary of Jane stuck in my head. I don't know why. Maybe I'll do that for the next Patreon member shout out. Sorry, I hope that was a satisfactory answer for you. Now where was I here? Joe Hanuman says Entenmann's is garbage. I don't even know what those words mean. I don't even know. What's up, Doctor Strange? What's good, fam? I hope you're doing well. Crazy Dan 420 says, if that's true, Amazon makes well over $1 billion every day. Yes, they do. Sam Giteau, aka Photography Raptor, says Andor will be in Disneyland land. Oh, that'd be great. If we can get Andor, oh god, that'd be so much. Yeah, like again, like they could have a whole giant thing. It might take days to walk around on foot, and this is why I think in the Veveverse, it would be everyone would need to have cars, because if you start and just, let's say they don't even have Pokemon or Nintendo. Let's say they just have Disney stuff, and in the Disney stuff, there's parks after parks after parks. It's a lot easier to build in virtual reality than it is to build on the outside. They could have a thing for days, and that's just. Then they have Star Wars Land. Oh my God, there's so like. This is why I think that I was a little salty that we didn't get vehicles. I want X-Wing. I want Millennium Falcon. I want a bunch of really cool ships that you could travel with. Now, I think that the Star Trek stuff might come in handy because that's something that you could travel to space with. How do you get to other planets and other things? Like, how do you get to Coruscant? How do you get to these places? Not that I'd want to go to Tatooine ever. Tatooine would be a crapple. Like, let's be honest. Um, yeah, how do you get to those places if not by that specific vehicle or travel? I think that you would need, in order to navigate around the Veveverse, you would probably need a vehicle because it would take days to get anywhere on foot. What we got here? Super VBK says, why does Veve need to be hush hush when they are not a publicly traded company? I mean, they don't want to give out what they're doing and let their competition know what they're doing. Like, it wouldn't make much sense to say, yeah, by the way, we're doing X, Y, and Z, and then let some company like Tencent or Epic Games or whoever, and then just be, or Microsoft or Sony, and be like, yeah, we're just going to do that before you because we have the budget to spend billions. And I guess technically so would Akomi and Veve. I mean, they're multi-billion-dollar company anyway. And that's not my valuation. That's Vanity Fair's valuation. Sleepin says, Randy, don't talk ill of the Kripkins. Sorry, Sleepin. Now I love that stuff. Like, if I really wanted to, I could go on like a rant and convince everyone now to buy it and be like, guys, in general, like, how, like, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go to, let's just say Mothman. Okay, so there's whole movies with Mothman prophecies, and then there's okay, look at the video, Mothman, America's notorious winged monstrum. That has 1.7 million views, and that's just of Mothman. How many people that which I guarantee you, it's not a majority, but I guarantee you everybody knows that one person that's a little weird, that is into the monstrous, into the supernatural. How many girls do you know that are into supernatural? Like the Winchesters, and like, how many of them would love to get their hands on these monsters? Mothman in general. Let's take a look on the Veve app and take a look at how many of these Mothman creatures that we can get if we wanted to, if we had the money. Guarantee you it's not too heckin' many. So even though that thousands have been dropped and bought, let's go to my profile because I have the whole set and had to throw that in there. I got the whole Kripken set. Okay, and okay, Twilight Mothman. That's the only one I believe, right? It's Bigfoot, Chupacabra, Cthulhu, Cosmic. Oh no, there is two Mothman. So you have one, which is 6,000 of them were made, and there are currently right now 42 of them. Oh my God, there's 42 of them. All right, so let me put it this way: there is less than 1% of the Mothman available for sale. There are less than 1% of the Mothman available for sale, because 1% would be 60 of them. And you could get a quarter of them for $230. You can get half of them for less than $600. And then you raise the price literally. You raise the price 2.5x. Yeah, so if people wanted to right now, out of the 1.7 million people that viewed that Mothman video, that let's say they don't just want that Mothman, let's say they want the Twilight Mothman as well, where there was 6,000 of those, so 12,000 each, and this is at $15. What was the list price that you could get it at? Right, 8 gems, and $15. So you can get, oh my God, it's like 160 for the first 10. And then, okay, then it goes up a little bit. Then it goes, so like $460, you more than double the price, and you get about 40% of that. Like, again, the 1.7 million people, let's take 1% of that. Let's take 17,000, 1.7 million people, 170, so 17,000 people, right? That would want a Kripken. They can't get it. They can't. 17,000 people that want a Mothman, they can't get that. because there's only 12,000 of those. There's a Twilight one and there's a normal Mothman. You know, let's Jesus Christ, like let's go Loch Ness Monster. Let's go with Nessie. All right. Because I guarantee you he's a bit bigger. All right, Loch Ness Monster. We go and we search that. Okay, we have a couple of things here. On History Channel, we have a video. Oh, this one was 2 days ago. Got 81,000 views already. Damn! So this isn't something that's like, oh yeah, people were into it years ago and now they're not. This video that was launched 2 days ago has 81,000 views. Not including the one that was launched 4 years ago, that's 373,000 views. And these are just the people that are on YouTube. Okay, new photo of Loch Ness Monster, 1.1 million views. That was a year ago. These are just... And again, so this is my bull case for Kripkins. This is my whole thing saying like, oh, I can convince people to buy them. Because, honestly, yeah, those weird... I guarantee you everybody knows at least one or a couple weird people. There are millions of those people out there, and there are not a lot of Kripkins. So that's my bull case. That's my go buy Kripkins. And again, I think right now, Disney peeps, those golden moments are probably pretty good to buy. But yeah, if those Mothman, those things will disappear. I wish I'd own me to NFT right now, and I would dominate a lot of them. So yeah. Justin says golden assets would be a good guest. Ha ha ha. Probably a lot of people would be good assets or good guests. Vicente Luna says, I would love to see Veve get intense with horror. I could see how they would need to be restrictions in place for children, but I would think AR Horror District would be a huge attraction. I would love that. I would love a horror thing with Veve. Dude, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason, those are like my big three. Those are my big three that I thoroughly enjoy. Oh yeah. See, it's much better to eat salmon than it is to go out and eat a bunch of donuts. Now, there was this guy that I served with, freak of nature, guy Relford. I will never forget Andy Relford. Was my supervisor for a little bit, and then we became kind of not equals because I never made it to his rank. I don't know where he is now. But every single morning, or every single day before shift, he would go to Wawa, and he would get like 4 donuts. And during shift brief, he would just eat those 4 donuts. And this dude could run like you. At first look, you could be like, "Oh, he's a big boy. He's a little drunker." But he could outrun you. He could outwork you. That dude. There's some people like that could just eat whatever they want and could just run like nobody's business. Now, my performance would go way down. He's people are just tanks, man. People are just, I'm so jealous of those people. I could just do, whatever. Anyway, he'd be good to get on the podcast. Actually, I want to get my training instructor, and I'm Sergeant Lyles. I'm going to, let's see. I mean, he's out. He's about to get out right now. Let's see if I can message him. All right. Good evening. Good evening, sir. When would be a good time to get you on the podcast? Now, I know he's about to get out. He might be super crazy busy, but he's an awesome person to talk to. Awesome person to talk to. Moving on here. Woo says Mermicornos are the best. They are. Dude, I would love it if we could have races in the Veveverse, but I would also love it if we could have like Mermicornos and Unicornos race as well. That would be the best. I wonder if Dogpool could be in that race as well. Dogpool would probably be pretty fast. Yeah. Moving on. Drew says, got the invite for the web app today. Oh, so jealous. Good for you, mate. Justin says, I'm sorry, but the Illuvium land does not do it for me. I don't know. Haha. I mean, to each their own. I mean, people are buying. They raised a lot of money. So it's their way of crowdfunding, without crowdfunding. Wulu says, we need more collectors, and sometimes people just need to be grateful. Yeah, agreed. Razor and 420. I heard Golden Assets, aka Electroman, might be Poolside's first cousin. Oh, you guys are mean. You guys are mean. Um, yeah. Tylo saying because they are partnered with the biggest companies in the world, and for that reason they are under strict NDAs. Also, a good point. Lulu says Tokidoki set utility. People create utility for single collectibles, but what about going into sets? Maybe Gator set utility? Yeah, yeah. I will give the Loki Gator utility in multiple ways. So also, what I thought about, Wendy had on her Twitter yesterday. She posted a photo of an aircraft that had the name Wendy on it, and then I posted and I thought I was cool when somebody had my name tattooed on them. I'm like, somebody, and so I showed them somebody got the real Randy Chavez tattooed on themselves. I will probably do that as well. I will probably, for whoever gets the real Randy Chavez tattooed on them, maybe like dinner once a year or something. Maybe something like that. But it can't get too big. If like 100 people do it, like how do I do that? You know. Adam Awesomeface says, if Tokidoki allows interoperability, you could probably create a Z-Run style game with Mermacornos and Unicornos. Let's get this bread. Love this game. Yeah. So this is how dumb I am. I was trying to I heard about Z-Run and I was like, this seems cool because I love genetics. I love breeding and I love and whys because I think it stems from peanut butter, and this is a long roundabout story. Peanut butter, how do you get that? Like, for whatever reason, when I was a kid, I convinced myself that I didn't like peanut butter. I don't know why. I just convinced myself I didn't like it, even though I never had it before. Until one day I had a Reese's peanut butter cup. Oh, this is great. And I think the reason I had is because I think my cousin offered it to me. And it was and I wanted to seem cool. Yeah, I like the same candy you do. And I was like, oh, this is actually great. Oh my God. And this is what I've been missing for all these years. So I immediately put peanut butter on everything. And I was like, what types of combinations of flavors is out there? So, and afterwards, a few years later when Pokemon Gold and Silver came out, and you're able to breed your Pokemon, and you could have, and almost anything could breed with like a Nidoking, Ampharos, Arcanine. There was anything, Raticate, and I was like, okay, what different combinations of things can I make? I was like, okay, the different combinations. It reminded me of peanut butter. I was like, okay, and then the cool thing was that you could see if you breed an Arcanine with Eradicate, that Rattata will most likely become a male version of what the mom is, so it's a male Rattata, and then it will know the dad's moves. So it will learn Flame Wheel, like a Rattata learning Flame Wheel. I was like, what is this? If you breed a Rhydon and a Donphin, and the Rhydon knows Earthquake and the Donphin's a female, you'll have a male Phanpy come out of the egg, Gold and Silver, level 5, knowing Earthquake. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it'll come out the egg, level 1, knowing Earthquake. And you are just like, what the fudge? Extreme Speed, you have HMs, you have other things that can... It was bananas. So when I saw Z-Run, and again, this happened with, what do you call it, Fire Emblem as well. I was like, this is beautiful. So with Z-Run, I noticed that I want to get into this. I want to be able to breed stuff. And then I was too stupid to figure out how to do it. I was to figure out MetaMag and I was. So if you're looking for any reason not to follow me, that one right there is I was too stupid to figure out how it was. But who do we have? Was it Frank Kozik or Jermaine Rogers talking about breeding with the Labbits and stuff? And yeah, I love that type of stuff. I love the type of combinations that you can make with things. Fusion Ha them, breed them, whatever. I think that'd be absolutely amazing. So good call with that, Adam Awesomeface. Now where was I? It was Rayfax with the super chat saying, do you know of any VV representation at Gen Con this year? Plan to be there for games. I know it's at Indianapolis Convention Center. Thank you for the super chat. I'll try to go to that. So unfortunately I have this thing called Dragon Con, which I I don't even want to go to. Like, I have my friend Lilith that's coming, and I don't know where the fudge I'm gonna put her. Um, she's supposed to be coming in like late August. I don't know where I'm gonna put her because I don't like what. Hey, go stay on my mattress, and I can't get a hotel. And we're supposed to go to Dragon Con. She's supposed to be here for like 2 weeks, and uh, I don't. So between that and NFT NYC and what I just have, this last, um, these last couple of weeks, I can't sell Omi. I can't do it. I can't sell the Omi. I don't know how I'm gonna make it all work. I will figure something out though. VV Darklink, peace man. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Super Duper Hank says, "What's up, Randy? How's it going?" Just saying hi. Back to work. Peace, fam. Hope you're doing well. John M says, "Do you think it's possible we get a Pokemon announcement this month?" No. Ginferno says, "My first NFT in the Jersey Devil. Got it on the drop. I still have it. Yeah, those are. I mean, they're cool. They're pretty chill. And the Kripkins, they look like Mighties. It'd be cool if they can get gamified at some point. Not a boss. In a few years, all collectors will only be on Veve. I don't know about only be on Veve, but yeah, a lot of collectors will migrate here because it's a collectibles app, like the first of its kind. Travas Gregory saying, "Haven't been able to watch any live lately. Sorry, but what's your total burn prediction this year? Cheers." From the reserve wallet? I mean, we could burn. We could have less than 100 billion Omi in the reserve wallet by the end of the. Well, let's take a look at Puddin' Cheeks' chart here. We'll take a look at. Where's it at? Oh God, where'd it go? Wait, seriously, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. And it's such a great thing. So 167. So we had. What do we got here? 6, 7, 8, 9. So we had over a billion Omi burn this week, and like as usual. And there are. Does he even have it? Does he have the gems in the reserve wallet? Well, 57 billion have been burned. Jesus, it's nuts. Okay, Omi token burns. Oh wait, I just derped that up. I don't think it says. It just says estimated gems in the app, total gems purchased, total spent in the store, and the circulating supply. Max ever in circulate. I don't think it says that. But we can go to, I think it's vv.me or vv.me.omi. The Veve web wallet? Nope, that's a different one. Omi token tracker. Okay, it's token.vv.me. That will show us. Where'd you go? I miss you so. No, get out of here, cookies. The reserve wallet has 222 billion Omi in it. The vault has 61 billion Omi in it. So we have total of, I guess, a 283 billion. I guess 284 billion if you add those others. Yeah, so we could burn another 200 billion before the end of this year. I mean, it's not that. I don't want to say it's not that hard, but we have a lot more product coming out, and we have more people that are going to get in here, and the token price is probably not going to move that much. So yeah, I think we can burn a lot, unless of course we somehow find a way to get circulating supply into the reserve wallet. So we'll see. We've got Adam Austinface of the super chat. Thank you so much. Saying if Tokidoki allows interoperability, you could probably create a Zed run style game with Unicorns and Unicornos. That's just with those. I mean, that's not including all the other. Like, I would love to see like an obstacle course. If anyone remembers that mini game for Pokemon Stadium, where I don't know if there's speed runs of Pokemon Stadium. I gotta take a look at this real quick, just to satisfy my own curiosity. Pokemon. Oh god, I put Pokemon Stadium speed run. Oh my God. Complete the game speed run in 19 hours, 41 minutes, 50. Oh my God, that's so long. How do you do that? That's a speed run? 19 hours, 40 minutes, 29 seconds. Right? I'm viewing that the correct way. Super chat coming in from Vivi Grail Goose says, if we get fiches in Vivi, do you think Brock did 5D chess by naming his project what he did, so it goes next to Disney? Um, all right, so let me read this again. If we get fiches in Vivi, which I would totally expect at some point, do you think Brock did 5D chess by naming his project what he did, so it goes next to Disney? It's the fiches, but CD. I mean, I don't think there'd be any reason for fiches to go next to Disney, because fiches are, well, I was gonna say they're underground because they're in the water, but if they have the mech suits, which are, you got a new fiche email today. If everyone that's in the fiches, they got a fiche email. Um, but if they're in the mech suits, they should be able to come on land. So I mean, how big of a, I mean, what do you have, like 1,500 fiche that have been minted? But not that many owners. Maybe like 700 owners, but 1,500. Again, President Biden's campaign manager, Greg Schultz, has fiche. He's in the fiche. I will ask Amar Singh tomorrow. Basically, royalty. He was like 16th or 17th in line. For that, to be the royal leader. I'll ask him if he has fiche. I guarantee he'll be interested in that project. He's like, oh, that's interesting. Um, but I don't. I think what Disney would do would be saying like, hey, we're gonna be here, and then Star Wars Land's gonna be over here, and then we're gonna have Marvel Land over here. I think they'll. I think what Disney would want is for Disney to be in the center and have everything else around it. So no matter, you have to go through other things in order to get to actual Disneyland. I think that's what would happen. Um, yeah. If we go to, yeah, I don't know why because we're going ABC order. Well, what goes after D? Well, that's E. There's a whole letter in there. Twits, between them. Um, are we talking about brands in the secondary? I mean, maybe. I mean, Brock is always Brock is. I would not put anything past him. Like thinking, 12 moves ahead. Um, I don't know if in his life he probably could have got that limitless draw. It'd be like that's what it does. It's supposed to be 12 steps ahead of you. I could totally picture that. Um, I don't know. It might be like Jack Sparrow, where he might have made it up as it goes along, and Jack Sparrow is such a good character. Um, I think the only one that really knows what's going on in his head is him. I think that type of thing he would probably keep really close to the chest. Although I don't know, he releases some fiche stuff whenever I have him on. He's like, oh well, I wasn't going to mention this, but I might as well. I was like, "Brr." um, so I feel like he does like to say things every now and then, and maybe he couldn't keep it secret. Um, I think Brock is very chaotic good, and whatever. It's like if anyone remembers that interview from 60 Minutes from like mid to late 2000s, where they found like Barack Obama's like half brother like in Africa, and they interviewed him, and they're like, you know, how do you feel about Obama, and that he's, you know, president of the United States, he's got all this money, and you're just here, and he doesn't help, and the guy he's like, well, it helps, if he's president, that helps me because he believes he's a good leader, whether he was or not. I think history will probably be kind to him. I mean, I feel like as far as politics go, like the longer time goes on, you realize like, okay, they weren't that bad. Whether it's Bush, whether it's Obama, whoever it is. I feel like people are like, all right, they weren't really that bad, even if they hated them at the time. But in that same breath, I would like to take the position of Barack Obama's brother, and I would say that whatever Brock gets as far as monetary compensation, or he gets put in a position where he can have some influence over things, give it to him. Like, he deserves everything that he gets. And chaotic good. You want someone like that to have it. Like, I don't know the let's say the people at Illuvium, like, they could be very fine people, but I don't like to have $72 million just come to you like that. That's real money. And again, I don't know the people at Illuvium, which they're probably cool, they're probably chill, probably fine. I hope that they do good things with that money. Um, Brock gets 72 million, which I'm sure he'll have. I'm sure I'll have multiple times that. I'd be so curious. Like, that's the type of person you want to have money, because they won't just be like, it's not just that type of person. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give it away, but would actually research and would actually do like, hey, I'm not just going to throw money blindly at a problem and then feel good about myself that I donated. No, it's going to be like, Brock would be the type of person to, like, okay, let's break things down to first principles, and what are all the scenarios in which what happens if I give these people or this company or this agency this money. And they'd be like, okay, yeah. So I think that would be, I hope so. I hope that good fortune befalls upon him. And because the consequence of that would be, maybe we get another Fish game. Maybe he's just like, whatever he's doing now, maybe he doesn't need to do that. And maybe you can be like, I'm just going to make Fish really wild and crazy. And maybe he does something else and he calls it Hermit Crab. And he's like, what we're going to be, we're going to start off as these little teeny tiny hermit crabs. And we're going to go and we're going to look for shells, because hermit crabs, what you have to do is you have to find a shell, and you outgrow it, then you find another one. And then he says, like, well, eventually they're going to be so big that they're going to have these powerful claws, and they're going to be able to crush these machines, that the Fish have, because there's a war going on between Fish and the hermit crabs, and Fish go and they get those hermit crabs, and they stomp them and they eat them when they're small. But once the hermit crabs get big, it's like Miss Pac-Man when she eats that blue pill and just chomps all the ghosts. Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Sue. That's what the hermit crabs do. Somebody write this down. Somebody get this to Brock. I gotta check him right now, because that's an amazing idea. Now, granted, I realize I'm gonna go and message him this, and he's gonna be like, "What the fudge are you? Like, what is going on?" Okay. Hermit crab. I believe this is $1 million idea. My I say my mind is too fast for typing. Excuse spelling errors. Meow. Talk later on a stream. Bye. Okay. Moving on. Where was I before this? I forget what I was even going by. Oh yeah. His project, what he did, so it goes next to Disney. Yeah, I think Disney would have its other properties next to Disneyland if we have that type of, because again, I don't want to be like Mr. Negative Nancy here, but Disney filed for their own metaverse. Would they have two? I think that maybe they would have their small rinky-dink one in the Veve verse, and then they would have their giant Bailey. Like, by the way, this is nice. We give this to people that have, whoever, Walt NFTs or any Disney Golden Moments. But the real Disneyverse is going to be, although I don't know, they said that their Disneyverse, their metaverse, was going to be more like AR. There's so many possibilities. The questions are endless, and nothing is certain. But there's one guarantee: Judgment Day is a possibility. Anyone remember that old school wrestling commercial from like '05, where it was really deep, where the announcer's like, "How will we be judged when it's over? On the way we lived our lives, with passion, with malice. Did we exploit the innocent, or did we protect the innocent or exploit the vulnerable? How will the next world reflect our behaviors here, rewarding the moral and condemning the wicked? Is there actually life after death, or are the memories we create here the only true afterlife? surrendering our fate to those we leave behind. And like I don't know how I just remember that. I haven't heard that commercial in like 15 years, but then it ended with Judgment Day is upon us. And I forget where I was going with that. Oh yeah, Disney. I feel like every answer we get, we get like 10 more questions pop up. It's like a Stranger Things thing right here. Oh, well, hello. Oh, I know. God damn it. Them plus. Oh God, I'm sorry. We. Okay. Where was I? Okay, where's what up, Randy? How's it going? Just saying hi. Okay, hi. Vidibon says, Randy, did you see Vader in Times Square? I saw the Twitter of Vader in Times Square, and it was cool. And any type of thing that they're doing, I'm 100% on board. It's good for Vader. It's good for us. Not a Bot says, if you're not collecting on Veve, you're not a collector. Oh, God, hiccups. I mean, you could not be collecting on Veve and you could still be a collector. Maybe, I feel like a lot of collectors don't even know about Veve yet. Casey Piranha got web access out of the blue. Hey, yo, get it. What's up, Veve Grail Goose? I hope you are doing well. I don't think that's it. Travas Gregory says, thanks for answering my last question. I'm pumped. Where do you see the burn report from the in-game burns? Well, for the in-app burns, go to Puddin' Cheeks. I can't. Okay, go to Puddin' Cheeks' Twitter, and he's got a link to the burn sheet on there, and you can see it. It's updated pretty much every day, unless he's on vacation. That man, like, he just took a vacation, but he needs more. Oh yeah, brands in the secondary. Yep, gotcha. Digital phase motivation. Oh no, don't you pull me down here, Naked HD Fun. I'm gonna report you. Unwanted commercial spam. Bad. Okay, and we're gonna remove that, and we're gonna remove that as well. The sound effects have me dying. I try my very best. I try my best with the sounds. Like maybe it's my love of like Mrs. Doubtfire and like Robin Williams, where he like makes, I don't know. Tell me this. Maybe I'm taking crazy pills or something, but in general, your reading voice, like the voice that you read with, like if I'm reading, my reading voice is not the same as my voice, like this voice. And if I'm going to read, I'm going to give those characters, like of course they're going to sound different. Like you can't tell me that every human sounds the same. Some people might, but yeah, you got to give people and things different voices. And when, I feel like I'd be really good at reading like children's books. I maybe I should put that like an audio book, like, hey, read by the real Randy Chavez. We're like, oh my God, I love it. Voice acting would be fun. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I got a phone call to do. Everyone comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you all for the super chats. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashy. Bye-bye, Dashy. Pray for my neck. Pray for my shoulder. Pray for... Oh, my... I'm dying. All right, I gotta go. Bye. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, meow.